high-speed chase in Fort Pierce ends with the suspect crashing into a home of a 65-year-old widowed man. And tonight, the significant damage in the homeowner who is now on the verge of being homeless.
That homeowner is asking, when is law enforcement liable for property damage caused during police chases? CBS 12 News reporter Denise Sawyer has the story.
That homeowner says it has been a nightmare. Back in July is when that suspect's vehicle came speeding down this residential street in Fort Pierce with the police behind it. Then a crashing sound woke up neighbors who ran out to see what happened.
It just like a big boom, it shook the house. I was in my house asleep, and then I heard this loud bang. I said, why me? It happened to me.
On the night of July 26, Randy Bosher was sleeping in this room in the back of his house when a car plowed into the garage. The impact of the crash was so intense that it shifted the frame of his house, shattering this wall, exposing concrete and beams, leaving tens of thousands of dollars in damage. Randy, who lives on fixed income, says the Red Cross and Fort Pierce police gave him temporary help. But as you can see, 5 months later, no repairs have been made.
They gave me a place to stay for about 2 weeks, and then they said they couldn't do it no more.
I'm really upset about this situation. I am all in favor of the Fort Pierce Police Department. I respect them, I value them, they are great people. But in this given situation, I think that as a result of the chase that occurred and the fact that his house was damaged as a result of that chase, I really believe the city is somewhat responsible in helping him get his house back in order.
Miguel Montes gave Randy emergency housing.
I believe that more has to be done.
CBS 12 News checked. When private property damage happens due to police activity, homeowners usually have to pay to fix the damage or claim the expense on their homeowner's insurance. But there are exceptions. If the homeowner can prove there was police negligence, attorneys say Randy might be able to recoup the loss. Now, Randy is on the verge of becoming homeless because he says the city of Fort Pierce has ordered his home to be demolished if the repairs can't be made.
I feel depressed all the time when I look at it because it's not right. I ain't got no other place to go, so I have to stay here. I don't want to be homeless.
It is a very unfortunate situation. Now, in this case, the homeowner does not have homeowner's insurance. So lawyers are telling CBS 12 News that he should file a claim with the city immediately. And according to federal law, he has 6 months out from the incident to do so.
Coverage tonight on the officer-involved shooting that happened this morning in Palm Beach Gardens. It happened near I-95. CBS 12's Al Pethley joins us live from the scene with the details. Al?
The shooting happened right over there in the westbound lanes of PGA Boulevard about 7:45 this morning.
That's insane. I had no idea at all, actually. I live right over in Legacy over here, too, so it's pretty scary.
During the morning rush hour, pandemonium broke out on PGA Boulevard just 3 days before Christmas when police shot a man in the westbound lanes of PGA Boulevard just east of I-95. Palm Beach Gardens police have not released the name of the man who was shot or how many times he was shot. We could see numerous yellow markers in the roadway, which typically means for each yellow marker, there's a shell casing.
It's sad to see what's happening in the area. It's just, when you hear these situations, it's just heartbreaking.
Oh, that's crazy. It's very, very crazy.
Palm Beach Gardens police say no police officers were injured. A cashier at this Shell gas station on PGA Boulevard, who did not want to be identified, says moments before the shooting, she saw a man outside.
And when I came in, I seen like a white male, like in his mid-20s, that were hiding in the bushes when I came.
She says the man in the bushes appeared to be hiding from police officers who were in a shopping plaza next door.
And when they came into the parking lot, the guy went running towards the intersection. The police was right after him.
While police investigated the shooting, traffic was flowing on eastbound PGA Boulevard, but the westbound lanes of PGA were closed to traffic. The scene of the shooting is maybe a half mile or so from the Gardens Mall.
The courthouse is right down the street. Several police officers always going up and down the street, so it's very crazy.
Police have not said if the guy they shot was armed or if he was threatening police.
I think it's very concerning. But our whole area's changed. I've lived here for 35 years, and I mean, there's just so many unrecognized people here. It's a little bit chaotic.
I would never really expect that here because you never really see any crime, especially like in this PGA area. It's kind of like a privileged area.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office are investigating the officer-involved shooting, which is standard protocol. Police did not say whether the man's injuries were considered life-threatening, but they say he was taken to a local hospital following the shooting.
A case of local vandalism could result in a major change in state law. Now, you might remember a story of a driver caught on camera vandalizing the Pride intersection in Delray Beach back in June.
And as CBS 12 News reporter Danielle DeRoss explained, prosecutors wanted to charge him with a hate crime but couldn't because of a legal loophole. Now, lawmakers want to close it and change the definition of a hate crime.
I spoke to State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg, who tells me it was frustrating to charge this driver with lesser crimes. That's why he supports a new piece of legislation that would change who and what could be considered a victim of a hate crime.
With the Trump flag waving and tires squealing, police say that's 20-year-old Alexander Jurek burning out a new rainbow intersection in Delray Beach meant to celebrate Pride in the LGBTQ community. State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg says his office looked into hate crime charges, but ended up pursuing lesser charges.
People in the community know this is a hate crime, and yet we can't charge as a hate crime, then that's a problem.
He says the victim here was the owner of the street, the city of Delray Beach.
So if a private owner had owned the streetscape, we could charge it as a hate crime. But because it's public ownership, we could not. And that's the loophole.
Now a new law could close that loophole. State Senator Tina Polsky and Representative Emily Schlossberg are sponsoring it. The bill would consider local and state governments the victim of hate crimes going forward.
Especially in times of division, we need to further unity and acceptance in our community. We need to deter crimes, particularly those that show bias.
CBS 12 News has learned of a second incident in Delray Beach that might fit the definition of a hate crime if this new law were in effect. Police say last week someone vandalized Delray's menorah, another publicly owned piece of property. Prosecuting these crimes would mean proving the perpetrator's intent was motivated by bias. In the streetscape case, Jarek's attorney wouldn't comment on his client's state of mind, only telling CBS 12 News he has expressed remorse for any actions that cause pain to the community and is learning from the experience. We are hoping to engage in a dialogue with the LGBTQ community.
This vandalism case is set to go to trial this February. If convicted, Jarek could face up to 6 years in prison. However, if he had been charged with a hate crime, that possible sentence would go up to 20 years.